the players now are just gathering for their two team photographs. England in the white shirts with the blue trim on the tops of their shoulders, blue shorts, white socks, and France with those deep blue shirts, white shorts and red socks. All of the paraphernalia is being cleared away by what seems like hundreds of people who are now rolling up that purple and red carpet around the centre circle. The inflatable World Cup's being wheeled away on its plinth, and we know the winners of this World Cup next Sunday will be either Argentina, Croatia, Morocco, France or England. And it is England in a World Cup quarter-final. These days don't come round too often. You can think back to Samara 4 years ago when England made it through with almost a minimum of fuss against Sweden, but very often over the years this is where the story ends, whether it's Gelsenkirchen, Shizuoka, or even going back to that unforgettable quarter-final in the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City when the best player in the world at the time had one of his most famous days, Diego Maradona. And now here in 2022, England's opponents in this quarter-final include possibly the best player in the world right now in Kylian Mbappe. It's a great prospect, Rob Green, isn't it?
Yep, the waiting's over. 6 days since the last game for England, and it's one that's just been waiting and building and building. The talking is over. Just had the two captains, Lloris and Kane, shake hands, two teammates. I think that just about sums it up. We all know these two teams so well. It should be an absolute epic.
Well, we're in the Al Bayt. This is the stadium that looks like a big tent, a Bedouin tent, up to the north of Doha. And the England team are ready. Jordan Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Maguire and Shaw, Henderson, Rice and Bellingham, Saka, Kane and Foden. So it's 4-3-3 again. England unchanged, France are unchanged as well, with Lloris in goal, becoming tonight the record appearance holder for France. Koundé, Varane, Upamecano, Hernandez, Tchouaméni and Rabiot, Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappe and Giroud. The referee is from Brazil, Wilton Sampaio. He blows his whistle and this World Cup quarter-final between England and France is underway, with the French kicking off, and Harry Maguire receives the ball on the edge of the box and just sweeps the ball out of play on the far side.
It's flat. The ball's flat. The quarter-final of the World Cup when we started the game
is flat
with a flat ball.
Well, that is extraordinary, isn't it? Talk about attention to detail. Well, there's an early test for Wilton Sampaio, the Brazilian referee, and Luke Shaw has actually just handed the ball from the side of the pitch to Dembele, and Dembele obligingly throws it back to Jordan Pickford. So England and France. If England are to reach the semi-finals, they will have to do something they've never done before: knock the current world champions out at a World Cup. England with the ball on the left-hand side up towards Bellingham, and then it's deflected out of play, and England have a throw 10 yards inside the French half that Luke Shaw has come up to take. England at this World Cup obviously won their group, beat the highest ranked team in Asia, played the champions of North and Central America, another home nation in Wales. They knocked out the African champions, but now it is the holders, and it is England in possession with Harry Maguire. Puts his right foot on the ball, has a little look forward, and then plays a long pass down the left flank, which is headed in field. Phil Foden into the action for the first time, but Dembele was back there, and France are able to take possession on the edge of the penalty area. Upamecano, under pressure from Sacco, plays it away, and now it's being brought forward by Hernandez. He loves to get forward, Theo Hernandez. Now Mbappe is in possession for the first time. Listen to the reaction. He takes on and moves inside Kyle Walker, but there were two England men there, both Saka and Henderson, and they forced Mbappe back, but he slips the ball in between them. Kyle Walker steps in, and there's Rabiot to play it back towards the halfway line. So there we are, Rob Green, first round.
Yep, it's one little opening there that had Mbappe ready. He was waiting to pounce. Saka misjudging that pass, gambling, shouldn't have gone, and all of a sudden Hernandez, as you say, John, loves to get forward.
Here they come again, this time a back heel from Mbappe near the edge of the England penalty area. Rabiot, but then Declan Rice is able to come across and take the ball away, and that's a confidence booster early for him to play a little role like that.
Yeah, well, every touch release, England play the first touches just to get the feet in the game, but not only that.
Oh, the ball's been won back by Saka near the centre circle. He carries it forward, gives it to Kane on the right. Kane tried to cross it, but crossed it straight into Upamecano, and the ball bounces out towards the right-hand side, where Kane's able to flick it actually over his shoulder and infield towards Declan Rice. And so Harry Kane drives a high pass towards the edge of the area. Varane comes across and is able to head it down, and now it's bouncing down into the left full-back position where France will get it away, although Upamecano's given it straight to Henderson, and now Henderson to Foden, and Foden's shot is blocked by Varane, who's right in front of him on the edge of the box. Manchester City blocked by Manchester United, but there are so many familiar confrontations on the pitch this evening as England come down the left-hand side with Bellingham. Griezmann is right back there, almost in his own right back position, to put in the challenge on Bellingham, and it was a successful one, and the French have it. England 0, France 0 on this Saturday night. There is live Champions Cup Rugby Union on Sports Extra right now, but there's every chance you might be travelling back from one of the matches domestically this evening, and if you are in your car, I would imagine you're glued to this as Maguire wins the ball back from Griezmann, and now Maguire in front of the centre circle, angles a pass out towards the left-hand side. Foden takes it down. Phil Foden, still England in possession. Bellingham is out there as well. Bellingham then to Luke Shaw, who dances away from the challenge of Griezmann. Bellingham turns, still two Frenchmen in front of him, and then Foden with a flick, Dembele with a challenge, and the referee says yes, free kick England.
Yeah, really strong start by England, confident start, one on the front foot, and it's two styles. England pressing, they lose the ball high in the first half, they're going for it, they're looking to press. Saka 1-1, misjudge the other, that's the risk. France will drop, they'll drop into that medium to low block that Julian was talking about. They're comfortable sitting in their own half.
So a free kick, first free kick on the left-hand side. England, of the 12 goals that they've scored at this World Cup, only 2 have been from set pieces. So here is Luke Shaw waiting on the left-hand side. England, who are playing from left to right as we look in this first half. Shaw waiting, one foot in front of the other on the left-hand side. Referee still sorting one or two things out on the edge of the penalty area. Harry Maguire, the eye is naturally drawn to him, right towards the far side of the penalty area. Shaw swings it in, Maguire is beaten in the air, and the ball is headed away, and actually there was an offside flag up against England, and it's a free kick to the French in their own penalty area.
An interesting little battle in there. Harry Kane looking to block the runs. Just Maguire was a fraction offside maybe, but Kane was doing the blocking for Declan Rice in the centre, Maguire and Stones at the far post. It's a formidable foursome as you look at it for England attacking that ball.
England 0, France 0. So this is 5 Live via BBC Sounds as well if you're on the move tonight, and we're also live across Africa on the World Service tonight. The 2 goals, by the way, from the set pieces that England have scored so far. The goal that Saka scored in the first match against Iran, which came from a corner from Shaw, which was headed across the box by Maguire, and the other was the free kick, the Marcus Rashford free kick against Wales in the third group match. Rashford on the bench tonight. A long ball forward from the back for France. Walker heads it down, but he's headed it straight to Giroud, and now Mbappe with the right-footed ball. Maguire with a challenge on Giroud in the area, who couldn't get to it. England struggling to get it away. Dembele on the right-hand side comes back centrally. Koundé is there. His left-footed ball is straight into the path of Shaw, who took a heavy touch, and Dembele was there, so Shaw had to quickly recover and put it out of play.
Now, discussion going on between Stones and Walker. He didn't hear the call, he's saying. We heard it from up here. Just play it back to Pickford, he was waiting.
That's Rob Green, England World Cup goalkeeper. We're watching from on high up here on the top tier of this Al Bayt Stadium. The dark desert skies above. And the other thing that we've not mentioned is this is by a distance the, in inverted commas, coolest night of this World Cup so far, as Henderson carries the ball forward and then it's played back into the back line.
I don't think there's many people at home having much sympathy for us out here.
That is a very good point. Henderson out to the left, It's quite breezy as well, but it's tops on tonight as Maguire plays the ball to the right to Stones, who gives it back to Maguire. And he has a little look forward and then drags the ball onto his right foot and goes for a long pass, which I think will be beyond Saka it is, and bounces through for a goal kick. So England 0, France 0. Mark mentioned earlier the terrible news about the death of our journalistic colleague Grant Wall last night, who was at the match, the late match last night. FIFA have paid tribute to him tonight and have put a bouquet on his assigned seat for this match inside the stadium. So they've got a lot of things wrong, FIFA, but that is a nice touch. Goal kick that Lloris will take down there to our right. 143rd cap. It's also a record 18th World Cup appearance for France he's making this evening. Bellingham getting up high, but Rabiot is able to head it across. There's a stretch from Giroud, who plays the ball back into his own half. And France start with Varane, who just works it towards the right-hand side. Dembele is there. Griezmann looking for those spaces. Back to Dembele, who's low ball in. Is all half cleared on the edge of the 6-yard box by Stones. England were a little fortunate there that didn't drop to a blue shirt.
Yeah, really good block by John Stones. Outstretched right leg, just getting the faintest of touches was enough. But that play down the right, rather than what we anticipate down the left, opens us up.
Yeah, Griezmann, this is good. Dembele and Griezmann together on the right-hand side, takes on Bellingham, almost past him. Bellingham puts in the challenge, went to ground. He's saying that he deflected the ball back onto Griezmann, and behind that the assistant on the far side says corner France.
Phil Foden's just a little fraction too high. He's leaving Luke Shaw exposed out there against the two of Griezmann, who's drifted out there with Dembele. Very difficult for him to get out to the two of them.
So England now have to face the set piece, and the referee, bright orange shirt, has trotted across with meaning to talk to Jordan Pickford. 50th cap tonight, clean sheets in his last 3 here at this World Cup. Mbappe is standing on him. Players are grouped around the penalty spot. 3 England, 4 England players standing in front of it. The French players in a line, a little bit like the England set-piece routine at the last World Cup. So Griezmann with a corner delivery into the near post is headed away. Harry Kane was there inside the 6-yard box at the near post, and Foden is able to get a deflection off Dembele, and it's out for a throw-in to England. Dealt with.
Yeah, there's a good header by Harry Kane. John Stones had just lost his man, I think it was Olivier Giroud, just by half a yard. It's so difficult in there. Having all those bodies, you've got to find your man, stay with him, track him, and of course, they're hot on the holding in this World Cup.
Yeah, you'll have defended set pieces against Olivier Giroud. He's a real presence in there, isn't he?
He's cute in the mind.
The ball's won back by France. Shaw caught up the field. Griezmann out to the right hand side. Diving header from Giroud, but it's straight at goalkeeper Pickford. He had to stretch for that, and Stones was putting him under pressure as well, and he headed it probably from about knee-thigh height, but straight at Pickford.
Nigh on impossible to score from there, going back towards your own goal. Getting the angle on it was hard, but Luke Shaw is isolated out there. England just need to readjust slightly. Thought the threat was going to come down the left. In a minute, Dembele, he's finding space down the right, and it's all due to Griezmann just drifting.
And they're onto that, France, aren't they? Didier Deschamps and his team have either worked on that before the match, or they've spotted it already in this game, and Griezmann is spending a lot of time over there. So first save of the match then, first attempt on goal, on target by Olivier Giroud. But England with the ball on the other side, their right flank. Walker plays it centrally to the 19-year-old Jude Bellingham. Been such an important figure in this England run to the last stage of the World Cup. If you have just got into your car, switched on your radio, the extraordinary news at the World Cup already today is that Morocco are through to the last 4, the first African team to reach the semi-finals of the World Cup, and Morocco will play the winners of this one on Wednesday night in this stadium, and that will be like this one, 7 o'clock kick-off in the UK, 10 o'clock kick-off here in Qatar. France with the ball inside their own half, and back it goes into Varane, just touches it out towards the left-hand side, and now Upamecano looking for Theo Hernandez moving in field and then knocking it back into central defence to Varane. Missed the first match. Varane, that having feared that he would miss the whole World Cup with that injury at Chelsea, really just a few weeks ago. It's been a remarkable recovery for the Manchester United man. Theo Hernandez again puts his foot on the ball and then passes it back into the centre circle. England are just sitting off the world champions at the moment. Varane coming forward again. There's Griezmann out towards the right hand side again. Griezmann squared to Rabiot, then back to Griezmann, and then out comes Henderson to put Griezmann under pressure. Theo Hernandez once more, and it goes back to the halfway line to Upamecano. And then in comes Rice with a challenge. That's good. Excellent tackle. Harry Kane is able to take it on. He's got Frenchmen either side of him. Kane is forced to take it out towards the right flank. Rice is there as well. Henderson behind him. And Henderson goes back to the halfway line. What a tackle.
Yeah, brilliant. And we've seen it so many times when Declan Rice waiting, picking the pass to attack, did it with conviction.
So it is now England with the ball inside the French half. And here is Declan Rice again. Made a confident start to the game. Rice back again to Walker, who looks up. England with the back four again tonight. Again the 4-3-3. As Walker takes it again from Jordan Henderson. So now, again, 7 players have started all 5 matches that England have played at this World Cup. So that is real consistency of selection. For the second time at the tournament, Gareth Southgate's named an unchanged team, having not done it in 53 matches. It's the first time he named an unchanged team in 54 matches against USA. Henderson's given it away. Rabiot will take it on. Saka's trying to get there. He goes into the box, gives it to Mbappe, crosses to the back post, but Dembele can't get there. Shaw went with him. They were shoulder to shoulder, and Dembele on the stretch could only put it behind the far post.
Well, there's the danger from France. It's Jordan Henderson, and he's just a slow, square ball inside. And that lack of pace on the ball allowed Rabiot to pounce. And from there, could they find Mbappe? They could. Could he find Dembele at the far post? He couldn't. But France sit, they wait, they'll be patient. They know they've got the ability, they've got the pace to hurt us on the break.
England 0, France 0. BBC Radio 5 live. 6:06 tonight as well, by the way, from 10 o'clock UK time. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton will be taking your calls. The TV highlights on a Saturday night, BBC One, after the news. And then the World Cup Daily podcast in the morning with all of the fallout and reaction from whatever happens over the course of the next hour and a half or thereabouts. Still goalless. Maguire and Stones in possession. Now Jordan Henderson, after that little error, could have been costly, but England were able to repel the French. Bellingham to the left-hand side, to Luke Shaw. And England, again, content to have it inside their own half. Maguire. And now Henderson almost dropping back in between the two central defenders.
Yeah, the difference between France and England at the moment is the two wide men of France are hanging wide. England are coming narrow, making the pitch narrow.
Rice turns, gives the ball to Walker on the right-hand side. Walker has Saka. Saka is forced out into a wide position. He's claiming that he was fouled. No free kick given. It's being brought forward from the back by Upamecano of Bayern Munich. He gives that to Mbappe of Paris Saint-Germain. Mbappe had 3 England players around him, and Upamecano is still there. Mbappe now gets away from Rice. He's central. Gives the ball to the right-hand side to Dembele in the box. Mbappe is still available on the edge of the area. Back it comes to Griezmann, 20 yards out. Now back with the shot. Oh, what a goal! Giovanni from 23 yards. The cleanest of strikes. France take the lead, and for the first time at this World Cup, England are behind. 16 minutes played. England 0, France 1.
Well, we thought it might be something special, and it was. It may not be from the people we thought it would be, but the threat is there. If you double up out wide, it leaves the space in the middle. Tchouameni stood waiting in the centre of the pitch all the time, the space that he wanted to pick the ball up. He was a long way out. He had a good touch. He picked his spot, and he hammered it into the corner. 3 players on one side of the pitch tracking Mbappe. 2 players on the other side of the pitch with Dembele. There's got to be space somewhere. There is in the middle, and it's a well-worked goal from France.
Just took a touch. It was pinpoint. point. Pickford diving down to his right. And on his 50th cap, he couldn't get there. And the ball was buried into the bottom corner of the England net. France ahead, England behind, and the goal was scored just a few yards away from Juliet Ferrington.
And the celebrations took place at the corner flag to my right, John, and Jordan Pickford has just taken his place right back at the game restarted. He had a long conversation with Declan Rice and John Stones. He's looking so frustrated, and also with Harry Maguire on that one. Hands on hips, but the game is back underway. Pickford seems to be now trying to control his frustrations as he's watching on over the pitch.
Well, England have not been in this position at this World Cup. 1-0 down. So England have to respond. Chouameni scoring brilliantly, really. The Real Madrid youngster, just 22 years old. Just his second goal for France. And now England with Saka on the right-hand side. Henderson on the overlap. Saka plays it back to Kyle Walker. Bellingham suggesting he might have been fouled on the edge of the box off the ball. However, it is Saka again. Saka moving in field. Oh, that was a foul by Rabiot. Went in rather clumsily and rather heavily on Saka. And it is a free kick right of centre. And this is what? 22, 23 yards out.
He's very, very fortunate not to get a yellow card there. He goes down, two-footed tackle from behind. Not a great deal of force in it, which probably saved him. But a threat for England. Luke Shaw standing over the ball. He'll fancy this.
So it is a set-piece opportunity. England going behind in the 17th minute. That excellent strike. It really was. So purely hit on his right foot. But England with Henderson and Shaw, and also John Stones has just walked out of the... England are putting up a wall next to the French wall. There is 4 Frenchmen standing in the actual wall. Griezmann's on the corner of it. Henderson is pointing at Maguire, and now they've backed away, and Luke Shaw is left alone. Although Jordan Henderson is still making urgings, and he's telling, well, it is Harry Kane now who's in position on the edge of that wall. So Maguire, there are 2 England players in this wall to the left as Shaw is looking at it. Could be Henderson, could be Shaw. Henderson runs over it. Luke Shaw hits it, but it's straight at Lloris, who's able to take, 1.5 steps to his left and gather the ball into his chest.
Quick free from Lloris. Just that gap between Maguire and Kane allowed him to see the ball. If you're going to put a wall up, stand together. It's a nightmare for a goalkeeper. Don't give that gap.
England 0, France 1. The early goal for Didier Deschamps' side. Clinical. And Didier Deschamps standing down there now on the edge of the coaching area. Out of contract after this World Cup. What a career. World Cup winning coach, World Cup winning captain, won the Euros, won the Champions League. I mean, he's almost done it all. And now he's attempting to become the first coach to win back-to-back World Cups since the early days of the competition. It is England in possession on the halfway line. Stones just moving the ball across the centre circle, and then Bellingham drops deep and will knock it square to Walker, who's stretched for that, and then Stones, nicely done, turns away from trouble as Bellingham in front of him uses Jordan Henderson. Now Saka on the right hand side. Saka, Henderson on the overlap. Saka, little ball into the box. Oh, great turn by Kane. Out comes Lloris, makes the save. Henderson chips it across to the back post. A stretch there by Bellingham. It bounces down and Griezmann is able to clear it away. What a turn by Kane to get away from Upamecano inside the box. But what a save from Lloris against his footmate.
Fantastic save, read it really well. Came sliding out low, but managed to hold his arm up high to block the chip. Did that, but such clever play from Kane. You can't gamble like that. You can't think you're going to win it. You can't nick it.
He was out so quickly there. And there we are. That's the first time that they have faced off in this game. He was asked about potentially taking penalties against him last night, Harry Kane, but he said, well, the thing is, I hardly ever take penalties against him at club level. Normally take penalties against second, third choice goalkeepers, not your first choice.
There is that. He's also seen a few.
Yeah. So England denied by the French captain, the World Cup winning captain of 4 years ago. France currently with this scoreline on course to get to the semi-finals again. Griezmann playing the ball back to Upamecano, and the D on the edge of the penalty area. Significant triumph that was though for Kane against him, but France working it forward really nicely. Mbappe, his pass is intercepted on the halfway line. Henderson, Bellingham wanted it played down the line. Challenge came in from Theo Hernandez. Ball runs out of play into the French coaching area, and it is an England throw. So Tchouaméni becomes only the 4th French player to score at this World Cup, after himself, Mbappe with his 5, Giroud and Rabiot, who scored the first French goal of the tournament, the 4-1 win against Australia. England with it in the centre circle. Here's John Stones, and then to Henderson. It's being played at a good tempo. I'm sure the temperature tonight will help with that. Shaw on the left-hand side. Got the air conditioning, of course, but it does feel significantly less warm here tonight. Rice puts his foot on the ball and plays it out to the left-hand side to Luke Shaw. And now back to Maguire. So England. Gareth Southgate with things to ponder as he stands with his hands in his pockets and watches Harry Kane drop into the centre circle. Declan Rice is there, Foden comes deep, and then Rice forward and through the middle to Kane. Oh, lovely touch through towards Bellingham. He's claiming Harry Kane was actually talking to the referee when Bellingham tried to flick it back to Kane.
Yeah, it's handball to try and block the through ball to Bellingham. He's appealed. Momentary pause. The situation, or the opportunity, went for England because the return ball had come.
It does look sharp, I must say. Saka heads it infield, but heads it straight to Upamecano, and now Hernandez, the left back, has given it away. Kane is into the penalty area, goes down, there's a challenge. Kane flat on his face in the box under that challenge from Upamecano. The referee was close, probably 8 yards away, and he immediately said no. Ball bounces out of play on the halfway line. Kane still standing with palms apart. The question is, well, I must say, that looks like a penalty to me.
There's contact, there's a throw of the leg, he goes to play the ball between Harry Kane's legs. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. It's soft, but it's from behind. He doesn't win the ball. It's a penalty.
It was right on the edge of the penalty area. I suppose there's a question there, and we are now having a check. The throw-in's not being taken. There is a check going on, a VAR check for a possible penalty, and we might have that Kane against Lloris moment we were talking about long before a possible penalty shootout. Still, the check is going on. The ref just turns away and says, I'm still waiting. Walker has got the ball to take the throw, and the referee is just saying halt. He's putting his hand up like one of those old-time policemen and saying, do not take the throw yet. This is a long check. But to the naked eye, it seemed clear that Kane was caught on the leg by Upamecano.
He knows, Harry Kane knows what he's doing. He knows he's the wrong side of Upamecano. He knows Upamecano's gone to play the ball, and he knows that he's in the penalty area.
Here's the whistle, and it's play on. It's not a penalty. Well, work that out.
The only suggestion I can come up with is that it wasn't in the penalty area, therefore there isn't a decision to be made on whether it was a penalty or not. But Kane fell in the area, it looked like, from where we are. There was certainly contact in and around the area.
Yeah. We've seen one replay of it from an angle, so it's not looking down the line, a little bit like the Japanese ball with the cross, etc. I mean, Kane fell sprawling into the penalty area. It did look as though it was on the line, maybe slightly over, but no penalty. Well, that is a controversial moment. We'll let you know if we do get a chance to see that again from a better angle. But it remains England 0, France 1. But again, Kane posing problems against Upamecano.
Yeah, that's twice now, and Harry Kane fancies it against Upamecano. Upamecano doesn't know when to go, when to come back, when to hold. I think it's one that certainly Harry Kane really licking his lips on.
But what we do know is that it must have been a close call, because that took a long time. By FIFA standards, that took a long time to rule upon. So France play a long ball forward from the far side, the right-hand side, from Koundé, way beyond anyone in a blue shirt. Almost half an hour played, and France have the edge. The 2 times winners of the World Cup, 1998, and of course in Moscow back in 2018, 3 times finalists. England looking to follow up what they did in the World Cup 4 years ago, and then of course reaching the final last year at the Euros. Maguire carrying it towards the halfway line, and then a right-footed ball. Henderson is out here. Henderson gets a touch, but the ball runs to Saka, who tries to win a throw-in, which he succeeds in doing against Hernandez, but then the throw is cut out by Rabiot, but given back to Saka, and Saka now up to the edge of the box, uses Henderson. Henderson slips the ball in between the legs of Hernandez, but Upamecano is there. Clears it straight to England though, straight to Walker. Declan Rice on his right foot, thought about the shot, gives it to Harry Kane, who shoots, and that needed a good save from Lloris to his left. Got a good sight on it, but again, Lloris denies Kane.
Fantastic strike from Harry Kane. Little deflection on that, which made Lloris adjust, made him have to work his feet, adjust in mid-air, kinked his body almost to make that save.
Corner then for England. This is England's first corner of this quarter-final. France put 2 men on England, and this is almost like a carbon copy of what we saw when France had their corner at the other end. So 2 England players, one in front of the other. Kane and Maguire, the 2 Harrys are there, 2 Frenchmen just next to the penalty spot. It's a packed 6-yard box. Foden with the delivery, it's flicked across the penalty area, it bounces down, still in the 6-yard box, and it's scrambled away by France. Rabiot was able to pounce on the ball, and the French were fortunate there was no one in a white shirt. Good delivery from Foden.
Schoolboy stuff almost there. An absolute bundle on the ball. Just anybody just putting something on the line just to get in the way from France.
Cause problems. Bellingham now to the right-hand side. Yes, Henderson. Henderson turns, gives it back to Walker on the halfway line. He hit that shot, Harry Kane, probably 25 yards given the angle on the right-hand side. But Lloris diving to his left, parrying it away. So that's 2 saves for Lloris against Kane. And then Bellingham, I don't think England will get that free kick, but Bellingham once near the edge of the box. Saka, that might have been a foul. Ball bounces away and behind, and the assistant is not giving a decision. So both sets of players down there are appealing, and the referee says it's a goal kick. Saka still talking about it. That's what the whistle is for, that you can hear. The referee saying to Bukayo Saka, come on, come away. Goal kick, France.
But it's been a good response from England. You have to say that they were rocked by that goal and they weren't coming up with answers. It's been really positive since then. Been on the front foot, been asking the questions. We've seen a replay of the goal. We certainly haven't seen a replay of the penalty incident.
So England 0, France 1. Hopefully we'll get to see it at some stage, you would like to think, as it bounces out of play for a throw into England halfway inside their own half. So England behind. It really hasn't happened very often at tournaments under Gareth Southgate. Remember the semi-final against Denmark, when the Danes scored the first goal that England had conceded at the Euros last year, and England eventually turned it around in extra time, a fortunate-ish penalty in extra time to win it.
Well, even themselves out in the end. It's taken a couple of years.
Throw in for England. Bellingham, Rabiot is able to take it down, but it has been a good response to going a goal down. You know, that's a shell shock in a match like this, on an occasion like this, as Lloris plays it forward. But you're on a tightrope, aren't you? 1-0 down with Kane wins a free kick, shoved over by Rabiot 10 yards inside his own half. You're on a tightrope, 1-0 down against France with the attacking talents that they have and the damage that they can do as England push forward and what they can do on the break.
Absolutely, but they're doing it in the right way, I think, and they're forcing Lloris to kick long. They have hardly played out from the back, really, France, and you're looking for England, where can we cut the supply off? Certainly Mbappe or Dembele don't want to be going head in the ball, so we've got Rice and Maguire, Stones there for that. They'll fancy them.
Well, a half an hour played, 33 minutes actually on the clock, and England go back to Stones in central defence. Stones carrying it forward into the centre circle and passing it short to Bellingham. Oh, who's giving it away? to Mbappe, and Mbappe moves away out towards the left-hand side. Walker is there. He takes on Walker, who has a success against Mbappe. Blocked the attempted ball. He was looking to slip it past him. Walker blocked it, and then there's a foul on Saka, and England have a free kick.
Yeah. Well, between them, Saka and Walker, particularly Walker, holds his hand up to Bellingham immediately. The poor backward ball. Thought heart was in your mouth for a moment there from an English perspective, but Kyle Walker was calm, composed, read it well.
England got away with two mistakes now, centre field. Henderson early on in the match, Jude Bellingham there. You wouldn't like to see England make another mistake like that.
There's only so many you feel you can make like that.
Maguire with that long pass out towards the right-hand side, looking for Saka, but it's headed away by Hernandez. Henderson there, Henderson infield towards Bukayo Saka. Saka, back to Henderson, then to Saka again. Saka goes away from Rabiot into the penalty area, still going, and then Hernandez puts in the challenge. Referee was right there, 3-4 yards away, immediately pointed and said that Hernandez had got the ball in that challenge with Saka. So Giroud now over the halfway line. Here's Dembele on the right-hand side. Luke Shaw has gone with him. Foden is now coming back to help Shaw, and that means that he has to go back further to the goal scorer, Tchouaméni, who I've hardly mentioned his name.
Well, interesting. We've hardly mentioned Griezmann after, since saying he was finding the spaces just there. He held the centre circle and went, no, just give me the ball back here. I don't want to make the difference right now. I want to control the game.
England 0, France 1 for a place in the semi-finals against Morocco. As Griezmann will give it back to Varane. Varane just shuffles forward in those orange boots, and then a pass from Dembele down the right to Griezmann, and Griezmann is not able to get past Bellingham, who found himself as the covering man in the left back position, and then hits a long left-footed pass up to the halfway line. France will start again in the centre circle. Yeah, they've recovered that. England had that storm for probably 10-15 minutes or so, but the French now have got more of the ball and more of the possession. Griezmann, then in goes Ross. Strong challenge again. This one on Rabiot, and the French have to go all the way back to their goalkeeper.
But it's better from England. Bellingham has just been a little bit more composed, a little bit more aware in there, and looking where Griezmann is and saying, right, okay, that's my role. I'm going to have to be the one to get out to him.
The French have got it. The blue, white and red. Griezmann, long left-footed ball out to the left-hand side. That is chested down by Hernandez, but Saka was back there. You can see the work that has to be done here. But both teams, yeah, there's that doubling up, isn't there? The forward players are expected for both teams because of the threats that there are. And this time it was Saka helping out Walker. France. Here's Tchouaméni away, the two number 8s together, running away from us so we can see them clearly, those numbers, gold on the back of the blue French shirts, and Tchouaméni actually plays it with Henderson following him all the way back to goalkeeper Lloris. Long and left-footed from him. And comes Maguire with the challenge. Ball runs to Foden. Foden is tripped by Griezmann. That's a free kick. It's a free kick to England near the halfway line.
Yeah, they're doing a good job though, England again. Lloris, they're not messing around. They've had Varane as the spare man at the back. They could easily play it out. They didn't. They went long to Giroud. Rice in front, Stones and Maguire in behind. We'll have that, thank you very much.
France leading 1-0. A 17th minute goal from Aurélien Tchouaméni, the young king, as they call it. Clearly got a great future ahead of him. And he's the man who's making the difference between England and France just now. Henderson playing the ball back to Maguire, and then out to the left-hand side. Shaw curls it forward, but that's asking too much of Bellingham. Although Varane on the edge of the box does clear it away, with Bellingham arriving on the scene. Now Walker allows the ball to bounce over his shoulder and then just gets up and volleys it back to Jordan Pickford in the goal. England conceding for the third time at this tournament. 2 goals against Iran, but that one there, super strike really. We've seen some really outstanding goals, haven't we, in the knockout stages and indeed throughout the course of this World Cup. Stones back to the left hand side to Maguire. Shaw's available out on the left, but Maguire's going to look for that long pass again for Henderson. That's asking a lot of the Liverpool captain. He won't reach that. Skidded off the turf and into the advertising hoardings. You probably heard the splat as it did so. So throw into France.
Yeah, it's on though. It's on. Because out there, John Henderson's pulling very wide. Saka's coming inside. That combination, that pairing have had joy down this right-hand side, combining along with Harry Kane. That's where the chances have come from.
So throw into France. I said in my preview this morning, talking about the milestones that the two goalkeepers would reach this evening, if one or the other could keep a clean sheet tonight, they might well be on the winning team. And at the moment, that would be Hugo Lloris. Mbappe with a run forward, but he has his heels clipped, goes down. That's a free kick. Just caught there, little foul by Jordan Henderson, but a free kick in the middle of the England half towards the left-hand side. Set-piece chance for France.
You look at Kyle Walker and the relative success that he's had so far up against Kylian Mbappe. Yes, you don't want him running up against him, but you've got to back your man. You back your man to defend.
England holding their line outside the penalty area. Griezmann, he can be brilliant with these deliveries from this sort of area. Griezmann winning his 115th cap tonight. Griezmann actually plays it short. It's flicked into the penalty area on the left-hand side, and then Hernandez works it across, and Mbappe is underneath that. But it bounced up. He snatched at it rather, the great man, and lifted it high over the crossbar from 12-13 yards.
It was awkward. It was clever initially. Have a couple of passes to get it to Theo Hernandez, and he did well just to cut it back. And then from there, you are heart in mouth moment as it comes to him. And a good 20 rows back.
England 0, France 1. 5 Live and BBC Sounds and across Africa on the World Service. At the moment it would be France-Morocco, which would be an extraordinary event as the ball is played to the right-hand side by Saka. Saka juggles the ball and then gets it down on the playing surface. Saka infield to Foden. Now John Stones, halfway inside the French half, gives it to his Manchester City teammate Foden. Now here's Henderson on that flank as well. Foden, who's appeared for the time being on the right. Henderson rolls the ball into the penalty area to Bellingham, and then Bellingham angles it back to Saka, and then Saka curls it in, looking for that ball to the back post, which is headed away defensively. Koundé was able to come across and get up in front of Harry Kane and make the clearance, and France clear it away downfield. A little bit of a stretch there for Rice, but there was a foul by Dembele on the West Ham captain, and it's a free kick to England 10 yards inside their own half. Rob Green.
Yeah, it's good possession for England right in and around the French penalty area, but just feeling that they're a man short in the combinations. They just need another man in there to combine, to finish off a pass, to finish off a move. Just not quite there yet.
Foden sending it through the middle. Bellingham back towards Rice again. So England in centre field. Declan Rice just opens his palms and then plays it through to Foden, but as the challenge came in, it ran away from him. France have got it back. Griezmann, and then Upamecano back to Griezmann again. Up comes Koundé from the right back position. We've not seen too much of him pushing forward, Koundé, but he is now advancing in the forward position. Dembele then plays it back to Rabiot, then low through the middle to Mbappe, and then back into the centre circle. Half-time, less than 4 minutes away. Big team talk coming for Gareth Southgate, and it stays like this. Griezmann to the right-hand side. Dembele again, dangerously onto his left foot, but England are wise to that. Bellingham comes across and blocks it out for a throw down the right-hand side, 10 yards back from the corner flag. It's taken quickly to Dembele, and Dembele rolls it infield. Tchouameni is there, confident flick back centrally to Upamecano, who swings a right-footed pass to the left-hand side. Hernandez, and now Rabiot with Saka in front of him. Mbappe takes a touch as John Stones comes in. The ball runs out of play. Mbappe went sprawling down. Now he's on his knees off the field, suggesting to the referee he got a push from John Stones. Referee not interested. Throw in England.
Good decision. Not enough in that. Looking for it. Went down easy.
Well, I hope we'll be able to see a better view of the England penalty appeal at half-time. And there's a yellow card, the first of the match, for a trip on Kyle Walker as he was bringing the ball forward. And it is Griezmann who is yellow carded for that. Not his first foul.
No, knew what he was doing. Walker was away, through the middle, driving into the centre of the pitch, and see it so often, just that deliberate trip. But I would say he's been an absolute joy to watch, Griezmann, so far. He has been the difference between the two teams, dictated the play when France had it.
Yeah, super player, as we know. And even though he's not yet got onto the score sheet at this World Cup, he's been such an important part, Griezmann, of what Didier Deschamps' side have done so far at this tournament. And at the moment, the world champions are on course to return to the semi-final this time. Declan Rice does well, gets away, but in comes the sliding challenge. It was Dembele who put that in, and Declan Rice 30 yards from the French goal, and he's back up on his feet, and he's bringing the ball forward, Dembele, and Bellingham puts in the challenge, but Dembele keeps his feet, centrally he is now, and then rolls it back to Tchouaméni, who's just behind it. Rabiot is there as well, with that hair tied back behind his head, and now Koundé on the right flank. And France just knocking it around inside the England half.
Mbappe is now drifted inside, playing also, well, he is a second centre forward alongside Olivier Giroud. I think he's feeling a little bit left out on that left hand side.
Well, England have handled him well in the main.
He's not been the problem.
No, he hasn't. The problem is England are losing. Saka to Walker, and then Rice. Across it goes to Bellingham. Now to the left flank again. Shaw is there. Forward. Bellingham makes that run. He does so well to find the space. Bellingham takes on his man. Left-footed ball into the penalty area. That's cleared away by Varane. Back out to where it came from. Headed forward by Koundé. Flicked forward by Griezmann. The French supporters down in that corner of the ground enjoyed that. The big French cheer went up for that. They've got their tricolours, their French tricolours, and they're twirling them around as France come forward over the halfway line, and England cut out that attack. And then Kane is upended. Upamecano saw his chance there. Kane took a touch, and having come out second against Harry Kane on at least of a couple of occasions, in he went there and put in the challenge out for a throw.
Well, he's tried to nick a couple and failed. He wasn't going to miss that one, and it wasn't a nick.
It was not. Kane shrugged it off and was up on his feet very quickly. So we'll have 4 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. France leading through the 17th minute goal. Henderson back to John Stones, who gives it to Maguire, who's right over there on the left hand side. Maguire has a look forward and he's going for that pass again, the crossfield pass. Baka was stationary as he controlled it on his left instep. Henderson makes the overlapping run. France have got 3 men there, but Sacco rolls it in field and Walker arrives. And now Kane under pressure from Upamecano. Back to Saka. He finds Kane with his back to the penalty area, and England go back, and Kane goes down again. Upamecano suggesting there was nothing in that, but it was long after the ball had gone. Now Saka centrally trying to find a way through, but no, he can't do that. Too congested. France bring the ball away. Tchouaméni to Mbappe. Walker just stands off him. Bellingham arrives to help out the England right back. Now Griezmann, that might have been a foul by Saka on Tchouaméni, but France have still got it. Out to the right hand side it goes. Griezmann is there with his bleached blonde hair. Griezmann turns and just gives it back behind him. Had almost 2 minutes of the 4 to be added on at the end of this first half.
Griezmann just there on the ball. He's like he's playing in the park. He just did a little twirl on the ball in the centre of the pitch. He's playing without a care in the world. He's wandering around at times, but it's so clever what he's doing. The pockets he's picking up, the spaces he's finding.
France will very happily take this scoreline at the break. 1-0. And in fact they go and take it all the way back into their own half. Upamecano hits a long pass that Walker will just turn and allow it to run behind. And it will be a goal kick for England. Pickford looking to take this quickly, which he does. into the 3rd minute of added time. Maguire carrying the ball forward. Just knocks it to his right to Stones. Thought about the long ball. Kane is through the middle in between the two central defenders at the moment, but England still with the ball inside their own half. Bellingham goes down. That was off the ball. Saka has it. So England go back again. 90 seconds of the first half to play. Stones to Maguire on the left-hand side. Foden makes a run forward. Shaw gives it back to Maguire. And then it's a long pass from Shaw. That's asking a lot. It might have come off Koundé. The two of them were together. It did. It's an England corner right at the end of the first half.
Well, England have stayed in the game. They've had the better, you'd say, after France have scored. Won't be too disheartened even if they don't score, but fantastic opportunity at the end.
So looking down to our right, England this time for this corner, which is only their second of the match. There are now 4 or 5 England players, so all of the England players in the penalty area are doing the bus queue routine, or whatever you like to call it. 3, 4, 5 of them lining up, one behind the other. The French defenders are there. Here's Foden's delivery. Maguire's underneath it, but it's over Maguire, and it bounces out to the right-hand side. 30 seconds of the first half to play. Bellingham's ball back in is mishit, and that gives France the chance to come out with it, but then Bellingham in with a challenge. Upamecano, first time on the edge of the box, slices it away. The referee stopped play because Hernandez, I think it is, has come out worst in that challenge. And so the referee has stopped playing, and England are saying, well, it's not a head injury.
No.
Why do you stop play?
No, it looked awkward. It looked like not a clumsy challenge from Jude Bellingham, but he won the ball, but it's full-blooded, and he's dropped to his knees as he's got into the challenge, so he's almost out of control, but won the ball. It was a good corner from England. Harry Maguire was free. It's a good routine, just slightly overhit.
Hernandez is back on his feet. Play's going to resume with a drop ball, and I think that'll be it at the end of the first half. We've already had 30 seconds over the 4 minutes of added time. England 0, France 1. Really not too many chances in the match. Beautifully taken goal by Tchouaméni in the 17th minute. Giroud had his header before that. Mbappe had that one chance really, and England's opportunities have been better. And there is the half-time whistle. Hugo Lloris has made 2 important saves. England thought they should have had a penalty. There was a long VAR look at it. That was when England, shortly after England had taken the lead, but the VAR decision was no penalty, and so that Tchouaméni goal means that France, the champions, have the edge at half-time. Still England players, Harry Maguire, Foden, Bellingham as well, are talking to the officials as they now head towards the dressing rooms. Rob Green.
Well, signs of good teams is that they score when they're on top, and France scored when they were on top. They scored a wonder goal, wonder strike. England had their time on top, created a couple of chances, didn't score, and that's the difference really so far. It's on a knife edge, but France have just had that moment of quality when they were on top.
If England are going to reach semi-finals at consecutive World Cups, they're going to have to do it from behind at half-time. England 0, France 1 is the score, and Mark Chapman is here with us inside the Al Bayt Stadium. Thank you, Mark. No changes, so England with Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire and Shaw, Henderson, Rice and Bellingham, Saka, Kane and Foden. And France also unchanged for this match. Lloris, Koundé, Varane, Upamecano and Hernandez. Goal scorer Tchouaméni and Rabiot. Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappe and Giroud. Just saw Jermaine Genius, who was on his way up to his seat. I said to him, penalty. He said yes, penalty. It should have been, but it wasn't. So England have got to put it behind them and respond in the second half. Rob Green with us here in the commentary position as the second half begins. England kick off in the white shirts, blue shorts and white socks against France in the dark blue shirts with the green numbers and trim, white shorts and red socks. And in the second half, England, as we look from way up here, are playing from right to left. A massive 45 minutes of World Cup football coming here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds and across Africa on the World Service from here in Qatar. Pickford with a ball well outside his penalty area, passes it to Luke Shaw, and then Maguire. Back to Luke Shaw. Bellingham allows it to run. Bellingham then takes it back from Foden, and Bellingham carrying it on is challenged by Dembele. It runs to Foden, who's crossed low into the penalty area, is whacked behind by Upamecano, and that's a yellow card for Dembele's challenge on Jude Bellingham, and the referee played an advantage there. It will be a corner, and that is a yellow card for Dembele.
Good early play from England, combining down the left-hand side. Bellingham taking the blow, and it was a rash challenge from Dembele. But England have to stay confident in this half, have to keep on creating the chances, and have to stay positive when they're out of possession. I think that's key to this second half.
Corner for England from the left. Foden to take it, flights it, he's looking for Maguire, but it's headed away by Varane. Comes out to the edge of the area. Oh! Bellingham with the shot from the D, and Lloris makes the save, leaping high. That was brilliantly hit in the D, and Bellingham there is waving his arms at the England fans behind that goal to tell them to up the volume. Third big save from Lloris.
Yeah, fantastic save, and one that gets congratulations from his teammates. Bellingham can't believe it. Probably just too close to Lloris, too central, but great reactions. Hit it really well.
Foden's gone out to the far side now to take this corner, so it'll be a left-footed in swinger. Just the two men near the penalty spot this time. Lots of movement in the 6-yard box. Deep under the back post. Maguire with a header, and it bounces off Rice back into the gloves of Lloris. Maguire again found the space, got his head to the ball, but it didn't fall for England.
Now, Lloris was at 6s and 7s there, went drifting way beyond his far post and tripped over his own feet. I think he's starting to think it's someone's day when the ball just drops back into his hands rather than into the net.
I'm thinking back to do you remember the Nations League final of last year, which was a brilliant match, and Lloris had just one of those days, and he's had a lot of one of those days playing for the French national team, and here he is. That's why he's won 143 caps, and it is France who are ringing the ball out from the back. Twice kept out Harry Kane in the first half. Important save from Bellingham, even though you perhaps was found wanting a little there in those moments, as Upamecano takes the ball away from Henderson and then is fouled by Saka, and that is a free kick just to the left of the centre circle. Stopped in his tracks by Saka. That's a mismatch, isn't it? Saka taking down Upamecano. Tchouameni, and then France going back into their own half. France with the ball on the left hand side. Rabiot giving it to Mbappe, and Mbappe now to England men there. Henderson, Walker, and then down he goes. That is a free kick. Jordan Henderson is pleading, and I think he's suggesting that there wasn't a great deal in that, and Mbappe has thrown himself to the ground, but it's a free kick that's been given.
Yeah, it's a modern day foul where Mbappe's running down the wing, does a step over, pushes the ball forward, and then stops running, and Jordan Henderson runs into the back of his heels. It's minimal contact. He had possession, decided to fall over, wins a free kick in a dangerous area.
Yeah, it is. Griezmann has gone over there to take it. Griezmann, important figure in the first half for France. Griezmann waiting to take this. England. Here's Griezmann's delivery into the near post. What a good delivery that was. Headed away by Kane it was for England. It was whipped in with pace. Well defended by the captain, by the centre forward. And France are forced back into the centre circle and give it all the way back to goalkeeper Lloris. Long through the middle for him, and an offside flag goes up against the French. So free kick to England. I must say Jordan Henderson's covered a lot of ground in this match.
Really good running there. He says it's thankless that he's never going to get the ball, but he forces Lloris into an early clearance, which then makes Olivier Giroud offside. England win the ball back. Job done.
And yeah, they had 6 days off since the last match. As he said to me after one of the matches, I never get this with Liverpool. Never have these many days off in between matches. England 0, France 1. Harry Maguire, and then across to John Stones. Stones now picks out the pass to the right hand side. That's where Henderson is again. Saka is available in field, and then back to Henderson, who pulls his pass infield to Declan Rice. Walker with a touch. John Stones in the centre circle. France still lead by 1 goal to nil. They've led for a long time now in the match. And then Stones carries it forward, gives it to Henderson out there on the far side. Saka makes the run. Henderson finds him in the box. Saka takes it on, pulls it across, and it's cleared away by Upamecano. Comes out. Henderson hits the shot. That's blocked by Rabiot inside the area, and France survive, and actually more than survive. They take it away on the counter-attack. And Mbappe, the pass through the middle to Giroud, who takes a poor touch, and it bounces to Stones, and England can take possession again and look to come forward. That was a waste by France. Brilliant Mbappe pass that Giroud wasn't able to take advantage of. Saka now. Saka slips it into the area. Bellingham back to Saka. Oh, Saka! It's a penalty! He was sent sprawling. Tchouaméni dived in. Lovely footwork from the Arsenal man. And this time, they were denied in the first half, but not in the second. And England have a penalty, and it's going to be Kane against Lloris from the spot.
Well, there was absolutely no doubt about this one. Saka did really well. They've looked sharp down that right-hand side since the start of the second half. And again, he drove inside, got onto his left foot. Tchouaméni knew. He knew that as soon as he stepped across, as soon as he made that lunge, there was very little argument from any French player. And it's Tottenham versus Tottenham.
Well, this is absolutely fascinating. Hugo Lloris, they're great friends. They spend so much time together.
Mbappe's just going over to Lloris to give him some advice. I think he knows all he needs to know.
I think so. Spend so much time together, wives and families, on days off, and they're not looking at one another. Harry Kane is standing over the ball, leaning forward. Harry Kane, this to equal Wayne Rooney's 53 goals for England. Stands up now, shuffles back. Lloris steps forward. Huge moment in the World Cup quarter-final. Kane waits, 1 foot in front of the other. There's the whistle. And the England captain just walks forward and doesn't like the way that the ball is placed on the spot. You never see this. You never see this. He's walked forward and replaced the ball on the spot. And now we'll step back again. Harry Kane from the penalty spot for England against Hugo Lloris. Up he comes right-footed and drives it in! It's 1-1! Kane beats Lloris, and it's England 1, France 1, and it's game on!
In front of the England fans, so composed, so cool to be able to stand and wait and say, no, it's not right. I'm going to do it on my terms. And he did it in a Harry Kane way. The Harry Kane penalty that we've seen so many times batters it home. Lloris is right, but England have been sharp in this second half. It's been a bright start. They've got the reward whilst they've been playing well.
Lloris went the wrong way. He dived to his left. Kane fired it into the net. And that means that Harry Kane draws alongside Wayne Rooney on 53 goals for England. 80 caps, 53 goals. And power to add. And now that is 2 goals in the knockout stages of this World Cup for Harry Kane, England's record scorer from the penalty spot to his 17th goal for England. But France coming forward. Rabiot with a shot which is dived and saved down to his left by Pickford, and it just opened up for the France midfielder, but Pickford kept it out.
Fantastic run, completely missed by the England back line. Big save from Jordan Pickford, one that he's expected to make, but be set, be ready. He was alive, the England defence wasn't.
Kane has carried the ball out of play on the halfway line. Well, it's opening up now. Harry Kane scored his goal at the end, where Juliet Farrington is watching in amongst all of the photographers.
And Harry Kane took 3 puffs of breath before he fired that penalty into the back of the net. He then kissed his hand, and he then screamed in delight as he ran towards the corner flag to my right, and then the rest of the England players just absolutely piled onto him, John.
England coming forward with Foden on the left-hand side. Taking Juliet. Foden back towards Kane. Kane, who's challenged, good challenge as well from Rabiot. And now here's Mbappe. Has gone with him. They check back together. Still going, shoulder to shoulder. Mbappe trying to get round the outside. He has. He's pulled it across. Oh, and it's bounced off Dembele inside the penalty area. However, back to Griezmann. Griezmann's ball across the box and straight into the path of Henderson, who's able to volley it away. Well, Walker had some triumphs in the first half, but Mbappe won that one. But England playing it down the left. Foden will struggle to keep that in, and he can't reach it, and it's out of play. What a contest that was. Walker and Mbappe.
There is the man. There is the moment that a lot of these neutrals here have come to see.
Where's the next Grand Prix?
Shoulder to shoulder race. It's incredible.
Goodness me, that was like, you name it. Senna and Prost.
It's like me and you, John.
Not quite. But there were quite a few horsepower at work there. Walker was beaten by him, only just, but he was beaten by him. And actually, it could easily have resulted in France retaking the lead. So this is a good response from France, really, from England pegging them back.
Yeah, you wondered how they'd respond. England responded really well to conceding, and they've been on the front foot ever since, really. That all of a sudden, England, that lapse of concentration, the stats show the next 5 minutes after a goal goes in, it is crucial that you do not concede, because it happens so often, and England have just switched off.
5 Live and BBC Sounds. We're across Africa on the World Service. It's England 1, France 1. There is a 606 phone in tonight after 5 Live Sport with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton, and the winners of this match will play Morocco here on Wednesday night. But it could go long. The pace and intensity of this match, I mean, who would bet against more goals during the course of the 90 minutes?
Yeah, it was a little bit slow, a little bit passive at times when France were dictating, and then France could sit in. Now, all of a sudden, it's been moments of real electricity.
Credit to Saka as well for the winning of the penalty.
Yeah, he's had real joy. We've on the right hand side, and he had joy moments before, and maybe picked the wrong pass while driving down to the line and trying to cut it back. But there, did well, took the extra touch. Tchouaméni gambled, got it wrong.
England 1, France 1. So Harry Kane with the equaliser from the spot. The ball coming back at the England defence. Stones heads it forward. Bellingham then nods it back into the full-back position. And Luke Shaw hits it. A long left-footed pass. Griezmann heads it back into his own half. For Harry Kane now, that is 8 goals at a World Cup. So he's 2 behind Gary Lineker's England record. And he stretches his record to 12 goals in major tournaments, either European Championship or World Cup, which is an England record on his own now. Here is Maguire passing the ball back to goalkeeper Pickford with the ball at his feet. And just having a little bit of a breather after that intense first 10 minutes or so to the
I'm grateful, that's for sure.
Yes,
I think we all are.
Rob Green, England World Cup goalkeeper, watching from on high. We'll hear from Micah Richards later as well, who's with us here. And Harry Maguire carrying the ball towards the halfway line. Maguire just tapping the ball to the left. Bellingham then goes back towards John Stones. So even Stevens now, his first meeting between England and France at a World Cup knockout match. Through the middle to Saka. Saka now finds a position and shoots, but weakly the French were closing in on all sides, 4 of them. And in the end it was a weak shot, but an exciting run.
Yeah, finding real joy all over the pitch now. Saka is in a central position, just in the middle of midfield. Picked up the ball and drove. He's onto his weaker foot. 4 players verging on him. So the more comfortable save for release.
Here's the dangerous Griezmann. Oh, lovely reverse pass to Mbappe. Mbappe then, under pressure, gives it to Dembele. Dembele on his left foot, shoots low. That's blocked in the box by Stones. And Stones has got enough on it to deflect it out for a throw down here on the right-hand side. Koundé takes to Dembele. Bellingham tight to him. Dembele again turns. Dembele, and Bellingham goes with him. Dembele runs away infield, gives it to Mbappe. Mbappe tries to work it infield. That was blocked by Walker. Bounces to Bellingham. Harry Kane makes a run one way, Foden makes a run forward down the left, Bellingham plays it into the full-back position, Foden holds off Koundé, Foden has got it, no support from there though, so Foden takes it on in the middle and then back towards Bellingham. There is support now, Henderson centrally, 30 yards out to the right hand side, Saka back to Jordan Henderson again, and then Bukayo Saka taking on Theo Hernandez just watches, and then Harry Kane makes himself available and onto his left foot, shoots low but weakly this time. Lloris is able to go down to his left and just drop on it.
Everything is going through Bukayo Saka at the minute. He has been absolutely brilliant in this second half. Got joy in the first half, but now just taking it on a level. And I can take this to the French defence. I can take these guys on. I can dictate the play, much like Griezmann was doing in the first half.
And this is why Gareth Southgate brought Saka back into the starting lineup for the previous match. He said he's just been too good in training and in the matches, so he can't leave him out.
Just a really, really good player.
The question is, when the changes come, who's going to come off? Here's Foden forward to Bellingham, then Foden again, turns inside Griezmann, and Foden puffs that chest out, and Foden's off on a run now from inside his own half, and he's fouled by Griezmann, leaning into him. Griezmann, who has been yellow carded already in this match, commits the foul when Foden could have been away there.
Yep. Wilton's umpire, the referee, is having none of it. There's 4 or 5 England players making that exact point. And I think what saves him is Olivier Giroud has a little tug, then Tchouaméni has a go, and then it's Griezmann with the last one. I think he's just got his way down before, which saves Griezmann.
Well, that falls into the category of, if he hadn't already been booked, he would have been booked.
It needs to be a strong yellow.
England 1, France 1. France scored in the 17th minute of the first half. England equalised with Harry Kane's penalty in the 54th. Free kick on the halfway line. Referee Sam Powell says, come on, get on with it. And that's what Harry Maguire now does. A right-footed ball just dropped into the full-back position for Foden to be challenged by Koundé, Shaw and Kane. Kane tries to find the pass, but Koundé cuts it out, and now Griezmann's bringing it forward. Then Declan Rice is there doing the job that I'm sure Gareth Southgate told him to do, to snuff out the danger of Griezmann. Puts it out for throw.
Yeah, fantastic work from Declan Rice. Everyone's seen it so many times for England now. Game's got real jeopardy in it. It's opening up all over.
I must say, Harry Kane has really caught the eye tonight. Scoring the equaliser, equaling Wayne Rooney's England record. And at the moment, though, England having to defend. And France finding Koundé on the right-hand side. Neither coach has made a change yet. We've played over an hour. There's an overhead pass from centre field. England will happily take that. It's through from Dembele for a goal kick to England.
Faced Harry Kane's penalties plenty of times, and we did the work that Lloris would have done, that every goalkeeper's done that has ever faced Harry Kane, and we worked out if he does take it to your right hand side, you've got no chance of saving it. He hits it that hard anyway, so you may as well go to your left. That's what Lloris did.
I remember well, he's hit some that are just unstoppable. The one that he scored for his 50th goal for England in Munich in the summer in the Nations League was an extraordinarily hit penalty past Manuel Neuer. Kane on the right, here he is playing the ball to Saka, and Saka goes down in between 2 French defenders. The referee again right there says no free kick. It did look like one, and then England are penalised. Henderson, so they take it quickly, the French. Griezmann, England have got to settle themselves, forget about it. Ball is played by Tchouaméni out to the left-hand side. A little wiggle of the hips from Mbappe. Back to Tchouaméni. Chips it into the area beyond Giroud, who falls rather awkwardly actually, but it was beyond and through, and it's a goal kick. And Saka has gone down in centre field, having been on the receiving end of that double challenge.
Yeah, it was a foul. It was clear as day. I'm not sure what Wilton Sampaio has seen, but maybe Giroud down at the other end just caught his studs in the ground, I think, sliding for that ball.
Yeah, it did look awkward, didn't it, from Giroud, as he stretched for it. And I did see him just feeling his hamstring as he was getting up. Saka, meanwhile, is okay. Just there was a bit of movement on the side of the pitch. I mean, it should have been a foul. Saka
playing Rabiot in from behind, and it's baffling. He's right there. He stood there watching the game. He's in a good position.
Yeah, great position. Right up with the play of the referee, but didn't get it. So Jordan Henderson just chatting with Saka there.
Yeah,
together.
I wonder if he's going to be able to carry on because he's hobbling a bit.
Would be a loss. Player that he's been, a man who won the penalty. He's just testing himself. Saka on the far side. Rice keeps possession for England. Just keeping half an eye on where the play is and half an eye on Bukayo Saka. England substitutes warming up down to my left. England 1, France 1. So the semi-finals on Tuesday night. Both 7 o'clock kickoffs UK time. You hear Argentina, Croatia, and then on Wednesday night Morocco against ? After their win against Portugal earlier on this evening. That was an amazing listen, actually. I listened to the last 20 minutes or so. Pat Nevin and Alistair Bruce Ball. That is one I would say. Go back on Sounds and have a listen to the last 20 minutes or so of that. It was really quite emotional, actually. Here's Griezmann now with the ball in field, playing the ball, but it isn't intercepted by Saka. It's found its way to Theo Hernandez. Now Mbappe 40 yards out. Mbappe and works it to the left hand side, and then Hernandez again. Mbappe more centrally, Saka in front of him. Mbappe finds the pass deep across the area. Dembele cushions it back into the box, but straight to the white shirts of England. Oh, and then Foden does brilliantly well with what was a poor pass from Rice. Somehow he managed to get that ball, control it, turn and get it away.
Well, that was almost a breakdance move and a fantastic bit of control at the same time. How he did that, I have no idea.
England 1, France 1. Allez, les Bleus, they're singing. I haven't heard the coup back to the Maison chant yet, or summit. And the ball just rolling away behind for a goal kick for England. 1-1 the score, quarter of the match to play. Penalty shootouts in both matches yesterday. 1-0 in the earlier match. I have to say, Rob, coming here, I think I said it to you in the car, I felt that this would be settled in 90 minutes. Not so sure now.
Well, they've all tightened up, haven't they, the games, as they've gone along, and that game at the end earlier for Portugal was all hands to the pump for Morocco.
Saka has been handled by Hernandez, and this time the ironic cheers from the England supporters, many of them in the seats behind the goal to our left. The free kick this time, set piece for England, over to the right.
Yeah, well, and it might sound a bit old school, but England are winning the aerial battles all over the pitch when the ball goes long. And so Jordan Pickford hits a couple long. Kane's won the ball, and it's the second ball. And I might sound like I'm from 1996 or a bit before, but sometimes it works.
To the break, Nelson. Free kick for England on the right then. I mean, so often in this World Cup, this is the 5th match, they've found the head of Harry Maguire, but it's not ended up in the net. Remember the header he had against the bar in the opening group match for England against Iran. So free kick on the right. The score is 1-1. Henderson fires it in this time. Maguire with a header! Oh, it's just wide. Just wide of the foot of the post. Big chance, but just wide.
I think he saved it. The reaction of the England player says he saved it. It looked like he was, looks like it was drifting wide. Lloris was covered it, that's for sure. But he's threatened a few times. Outside of the post.
The post. The very outside of the post. I think Lloris had that covered. Rob.
Yeah. Got a good dive in.
Great dive. England 1, France 1. Another near thing. So that's the second time now that Maguire has struck post or bar at this World Cup. Kane does extremely well, looking for the run of Saka. This time Hernandez gets the better of Saka by fair means. Here's Rice to Henderson. Back to Declan Rice again. Looks up. Here's the pass. Long to the left-hand side. Foden wins the header. Dances to Shaw in the box. Shaw's attempted cross. That was blocked by the defender who was right in front of him. Rice again is there to head it down. And then Harry Kane back towards the halfway line. I think we can declare currently England are the better team, Rob.
Also, I think out of all the quarter-finals, this has been the most enthralling out of them. Really two good, well-matched teams
in terms of the enterprising play in the match. Here is Shaw. Shaw now takes it on, has a look, whips it across. Oh, just wide. Saka was arriving, Hernandez was there. And I think they got there almost together. And the ball, well, the official said it was Saka who got the touch because it's been given as a goal kick.
I don't know. I think he's making it up. He doesn't know. He's finally given a goal kick. By luck, more by judgment, he's made the right decision. It's just off the inside of Saka's heel.
I think it maybe clipped Hernandez's shin and then hit the shin of Saka as they were arriving on the edge of the 6-yard box and flew at an angle back across and behind, and that was the right decision.
He's given a free kick, I think. Foul on Hernandez in the end.
Debatable.
Yep.
Maybe the wrong decision. England won, France won, and then offside flag against Griezmann on the edge of the England penalty area, and there's applause from Harry Maguire, very pointedly actually, which I think is making a point. So 1-1 it remains. England involved in only the third match against France at a World Cup. Group match in 1966 in the famous year. And like Gareth Southgate, I raced home from school for the match in 1982 when Brian Robson scored after 27 seconds. As Pickford takes this free kick downfield and it's out of play. But Saka with a challenge on Hernandez, a foul, and that is a free kick to France. 10 yards inside their own half. Upamecano to take this. It's a long one, but that's going nowhere for France. And Jordan Pickford just takes the ball into his gloves. Well, we've got less than 20 minutes to play, so less than 20 minutes to go until extra time.
Yeah. England on the front foot at the minute, and there's just a moment there where Upamecano hit that ball and it just had the air of desperation about it. Just hitting a long, hopeful ball to Olivier Giroud, who was nowhere near it.
Still, neither manager has made a change, which is remarkable at this World Cup. Here's Shaw on the left-hand side, swings a high pass, cross to the back post, headed away by Hernandez. Henderson is onto this. Henderson is right behind him, and it's out of play. Rabiot actually right behind him. It's out of play. Throw-in is taken, and then Bellingham is turned in the box by Upamecano, went down, and he's slapping the turf. Bellingham. That looked more hopeful to me in terms of a penalty shout.
Well, he never actually had the ball under control. Upamecano's gone for the ball, neither of them were near it, so it's not a clear and obvious error.
Rice steps in against Griezmann. Rice stretches for the header, but the ball does find Griezmann this time as it comes back over the halfway line. And then Griezmann to Dembele. Well, it was a good ball actually from Griezmann, but he got his feet wrong, Dembele, and as a result, in rather laboured fashion, couldn't get it, and it was out of play for a throw-in to England. Back down pitch side, Juliet Ferrington.
Where Steve Holland has just told Mason Mount to go and warm up, and in fact he has taken his bib off, so it looks like he's coming up and coming on, and also an indication is that I can see in the distance a brook is being flicked through, so he's going to get his instruction, and it looks like Mason Mount is going to be making a substitute appearance for England in the next couple of minutes or so.
I can see that as 1-1 the score. France come forward down the right hand side. Here's Dembele on the right flank, pulls it back onto his left foot as he likes to do, crosses into the penalty area, acrobatic clearance by Walker. It comes out Tchouameni and Rabiot together on the left hand side. Rabiot then goes back to Hernandez, and Hernandez is ball to the back post, a stretch, but a stretch and a header wide by Olivier Giroud. Goal kick England.
Well, he applauds the cross, and it's a clever cross. It's a clever bit of play from Olivier Giroud, because he knew that he wasn't going to reach John Stones or Harry Maguire. So I'll tell you what, I'll drift a bit further. I fancy my chances against Luke Shaw, who was a little bit over here. England may be making the change first, but I do feel that France are the more tired of the two teams.
68,895 here in Al Bayt, the stadium to the north, next to where they used to do the pearl fishing up on the coast, as we've both learned in the Museum of Qatar. So Mason Mount coming on, but not yet. Maguire strides forward with the ball for England. Shaw, then to Bellingham. Lovely control from Bellingham in the box. Bellingham then back to Shaw. Shaw curls it in, but that's beyond anyone in a white shirt. Hernandez heads it away and it comes out to Mbappe, who's got that lazy, just look what I'm about to do to you, look about him. Passes it forward. Good challenge though from Declan Rice. It's been excellent in the game, Declan Rice. France with the ball centrally. It's played back into central defence and then on to Griezmann and then across again to Rabiot, who will carry it forward deep into the England half. Mbappe slips it in between two England men. The cross from Rabiot to the back post. Dembele heads it across. Oh, what a save from Pickford to keep out Giroud. 10 yards out on the volley, and Pickford diving to his left, to his right, pushes it away wide of the goal and behind for a corner.
Huge moment in the game, fantastic save, really well worked, and it's the moment Olivier Giroud has been waiting for. A volley on his left foot. He's held his toe in the penalty area, just waiting and waiting and waiting. It's a big save.
Huge. On his 50th cap, Pickford. Here's the corner though, headed away at the near post for England by Kane. Comes out for Varane. Then it's worked to the left-hand side. They're still up for the set piece. Here's the ball in. Giroud this time. 2-1 France. 6 yards out. Super powerful centre forwards header. And England are behind the game in the quarter-final. And France are going mad. England have got to do it all again. And now time's running out. England 1, France 2.
It's a wonder ball, and it's from that man Griezmann. Right from the touchline, fires in a wonderful cross, and Olivier Giroud, he's made that run a million times in his career across the near post, and he's asking for that ball, giving himself half a yard of space. Please, just find me, and he does it to perfection. Steals in, takes a little nick off Harry Maguire that beats Pickford. They had the warning, England. They didn't listen. They've got to do it again, as you say.
And here's the change now. Henderson is off. Jordan Henderson makes way to Mason Mount, who comes on into the midfield. And Raheem Sterling as well is going to come on for England. So a double change. So Jordan Henderson is off, and it is Bukayo Saka. It must be that problem, because otherwise you wouldn't be taking Bukayo Saka off the match that he's had.
No, you wouldn't. You need England now to create something. So two creative influences out there.
Well, this is a surprise though, isn't it, that it's Sterling and not Rashford?
Well, it's fresh, I'll say that.
Having been at home and back down to Juliet Farrington.
Well, it could soon well be Marcus Rashford making an appearance, because he is now just going through a warm-up on his own. The Raheem Sterling substitution, John, that was a very quick substitution which was being made or being discussed about whilst that corner was being taken. But Marcus Rashford now is doing the warm-ups, and maybe he will be England's third substitution into this game.
So Mason Mount is on, having come on as a substitute in the previous match against Senegal. But I think Jordan Henderson, the amount of ground that he's covered today, I think it was almost an inevitability that Mount would come on for him in the midfield.
Yep, with that creativity that he has, we as England need that right now. I wonder how France will approach it now with just over 10 minutes to go.
Here's one over the top for England. Oh, that's a strong, firm challenge from Hernandez. And I mean, as the run was made by Mount into the penalty area, there seemed to be a shove on his back. He went down, not given. And England aren't happy about that. Steve Holland is up on the edge of the coaching area. They want the referee to have a look at that on VAR. Harry Maguire saying the same thing. Declan Rice too. The referee is waiting. Hernandez He came in with, well, quite a shove in the back, upper body into his back, and I think VAR is taking over and having a look at this for another possible penalty for England.
But it's clumsy at best, and Hernandez has no inclination of playing the ball. Mason Mount isn't anywhere near the ball himself, but the contact is there, the intent is there, and he hits him clean in the back.
We're waiting. This is a huge moment. England 2-1 down. France. Oh, yep. Here's the rectangle. And France look to the skies, their players. They know what's coming here. Hernandez, it was a poor challenge into the back of Mason Mount, who's making his run into the area. The referee now is out of our sight. Helpfully now we're seeing the pictures. And that does look like a blatant shove in the back of Mason Mount in the area.
It's a gift. It is absolute. It's a disaster for Hernandez if this is given, because Mason Mount has no real chance of playing the ball.
Wilton Sampaio is standing in front of the television screen, hands on his hips. Here he comes. There's the rectangle again. He points to the penalty spot, and for the second time in the match, it's going to be Harry Kane against Hugo Lloris to level things up. And there are 82 minutes on the clock. And Jude Bellingham has gone with the referee to the penalty spot. And I think they're suggesting that perhaps that could be a red card for Hernandez. You know, Mason Mount is in there in the penalty area, and the referee now is now rather belatedly producing a yellow card for Hernandez.
Well, I don't see it denying a clear goal scoring opportunity, because Mason Mount never had control of the ball. Lloris was going to be the favourite to win it, but as I said, it's an absolute disaster for Hernandez. What he's thinking, why he needs to do it, I have no idea. It's straight in the back of him. Mason Mount bundled over in the box. And we're here again.
Penalty again, and this is now for Harry Kane to top the list on his own. But that is a side issue. What is more important here is that with 83 minutes on the clock now, England need this. England need this to level up this quarter-final. And again, it's the same routine. Remember how last time he re-spotted it. And again, Lloris is looking down at the ground with his hands on his knees in the goal, and Harry Kane is not looking at him. If ever England needed Harry Kane, it's now. Time running out. The world champions are leading. This to level it up. Harry Kane waits. Lloris on his line. He sent him the wrong way last time. We're waiting for the whistle, still waiting. This needs the nerve of the coolest man on the field. Oh, he's put it over the bar! He's missed it! Harry Kane has landed the ball in amongst the England fans. And France celebrate as though they themselves have scored. It remains England 1, France 2, and Harry Kane is consoled by Mason Mount. He runs his fingers through his hair. He can't believe it. England can't believe it. The golden chance to equalise is gone, and France continue to lead with 6 minutes to play. And that could be decisive. That moment could be the moment that sees England out of this World Cup. And Foden is being replaced now by Marcus Rashford. Rob Green.
What a moment. What a moment. Same routine that we've seen Harry Kane do so many times throughout his career, and he just gets it wrong. He hits under the ball, it clears the bar by a distance. Lloris is going the right way. He's gone for the height. I think he knows that Lloris is going to get it. He's done it so many times throughout his career for Tottenham and for England. And it's such a crucial moment.
Well, the question is that it? Can England respond to that with only minutes left? 5 minutes of the 90. England 1, France 2. Marcus Rashford is now on the field. Marcus Rashford, England's joint top scorer at this World Cup. England coming forward, but that's given us a foul for France, a free kick for France against Jude Bellingham, and clearly here France will take as long as they can. Koundé is getting to his feet after being on the receiving end of that, and France trying to wind the clock down now, as you would expect that they would.
What a reprieve for France. Haven't been the better side in the second half. Had 5 minutes of pressure, created 2 chances, took one, and handed England the opportunity.
Long and forward from Lloris, bounces across the England penalty area, and Maguire is able to get there just ahead of Mbappe inside the box. Back to Walker. Walker is tripped by Lloris. That's a free kick to England. Walker looks over his shoulders, daggers at the huge figure of Olivier Giroud. So France still lead through that. Brilliant header from Giroud, from a brilliant ball in from Griezmann. But the story, I'm afraid, is going to be penalties again, isn't it, for England at a major tournament, but this time not a penalty shootout. And Harry Kane, who has missed penalties, that's the 4th one he's missed for England, but the most costly. There's Mason Mount is fouled on the right hand side. There will be a 6:06 on 5 Live tonight to take your calls. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton, hashtag BBC 606. And the TV highlights are on BBC One, the 5 Live World Cup daily podcast as well, to download in the morning with all of the reaction, but we will get you the live interviews on from down in the dressing room area. And at the moment, those interviews are going to be downbeat, downcast England players. Free kick for England. There's still time. Ball headed across the box by Maguire. Cleared away by France. Comes back to Maguire. Might have been nudged over by Koundé. Referee says no. Bellingham with a touch, but that's out for a throw-in. A throw-in for England.
Well, if we've seen anything in this World Cup, it is injury time, and there will be plenty of it. So England just have to compose themselves. Don't need to rush it. It's just seen them launch one into the box. Just need to back ourselves to create one big chance.
Rice. Now back to Bellingham. And then infield to Mason Mount. And Mason Mount makes room for himself and shoots gracefully from 25 yards. There were options inside the box, but he liked the look of it now, and he went for it, but it was the wrong decision. Why?
Yeah, you can see why he went for it. By just thinking, the reason the form he's been in tonight, the options are there. Use them. He just slips up in front of him. Iron handsome into the crowd. But, as I say, England have that belief that you'll always get one more chance in a game, and just keep digging out the possession, keep recycling it, keep creating the opportunities.
By the way, in the midst of all of one of those dramas, France brought on Coleman for Dembele, which is Didier Deschamps' first change. And now there's been a challenge by Maguire, and it's a free kick, and it's happened in the eye line of the bench, and I think that's going to be a yellow card for Harry Maguire. It is, which is England's first yellow card of this World Cup. Up goes the card now, and a free kick to France. There's an aerial challenge. He led with his arm, his forearm on Griezmann.
You just need to balance out the desperation to win the ball back to being over-assertive, because you know every opportunity is going to be taken. Kill the game, slow it down.
England 1, France 2. The holders are going through into the semi-finals to play Morocco. England are going out at the quarter-finals. Varane, long and right-footed towards the edge of the box. It's headed across. Mbappe takes that down, tried to turn. Stones did a good job on him, prevented him from doing that. Looked very, very dangerous for a moment. Walker, then up towards Sterling, who chests it infield. Sterling is onto this. It's a 50-50 now. Sterling goes into it with Mbappe. The ball bounces infield. France have got it back, and then there's a challenge from Mason Mount. Just too much adrenaline, I think, in on that one. Too much force on Rabiot, and it's a free kick to France on the left.
Clever from Rabiot. just got his body in the way, just went down.
8 minutes, Rob, of added time.
Yep.
We'll have.
Still time.
England 1, France 2. So Argentina against Croatia, and with this scoreline it will be Morocco against France, the last four. England have got to come up with a late show just to take this to extra time. Feels like a tall order, and at the moment a taller order, because Griezmann's standing over the ball on the left hand side, and Griezmann's free kick is headed away by Rashford on the edge of the box, nodded back in by Rabiot. England will clear through Maguire. It's away from Kane in the centre circle. France have got it. Hernandez back out to Griezmann, who heads it forward, and Mbappe's onto this. He gets there ahead of Walker. Walker stands off it on the other corner flag. Mbappe taking on Walker, goes to the byline. There's support coming as well, and that support is good from England and from Raheem Sterling. And Rice will carry it away, but he's under pressure, still in the England right back area. This is in added time at the end of this World Cup quarter-final. Up to the centre circle. Kane does well to win the header. To Rashford, back to Kane. Now there's space for Shaw. White shirts are pouring forward for England. Shaw with a cross into the back post. Laurie stretching. Whether he got a touch for that or not, I'm not sure. He did. It's a corner to England from the right, Rob Green.
Yep, better from England. Just that bit of composure on the ball from Harry Kane. Allowed the space, found the space. We kept Lloris taking no chances. Harry Maguire denied by the woodwork twice in the tournament. Now's your time.
So, corner to England from the right. 2-1 France lead. Harry Kane's second missed penalty making the difference. Here's the corner in, but it's headed away for France. Well headed away by Upamecano. Comes out to Sterling. Sterling steers it back to Walker. They're staying up. 2 minutes of the 8 have been added on. Bellingham comes short. Bellingham turns. Gives the ball to the right hand side. England need to come up with what would be their 14th goal of this World Cup. Sterling with a cross. Lloris comes and makes the catch outside the penalty area. Maguire's claiming he was fouled. I think that's hopeful to think that England could get another penalty on VAR.
Well, should have had 3. I don't think we're going to get a third. Now there's one little bit of hope in the ball in. It wasn't the bodies, the concentration. It was Maguire on his own.
So France take this ball downfield. Kingsley Coman. Luke Shaw is able to get back, and then the ball was run away by Declan Rice. Coman chasing him, and he's forced him to play it out of play. So that is a throw in to the French. Bellingham saying, should it be England's throw? The referee says firmly no. It is France's. And Tchouaméni will leave it to Koundé to take. So 2-1 France lead. Tchouaméni gave France the lead early on in the match. England equalised in the second half through the Harry Kane penalty. Olivier Giroud's header struck France back in front, and then the crucial moment, it would seem, when England won a second penalty given on VAR, but Harry Kane struck it over the top of the crossbar. Sterling curls one forward. Hernandez heads it away. Mason Mount chasing. Bellingham's in there as well, but Hernandez just goes long. Hits it long. That's one from Mbappe to chase. John Stones gets there first. 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes of added time. There are only 4 minutes to play. 4 minutes to take this to extra time. Rice to Maguire. Maguire now to the left hand side. What's your belief like, England? What's your hunger like? Bellingham swinging it to the right hand side. They've got to find a way past the world champions. Sterling on the right. Sterling with a cross to the back post. Shaw is there to head it back across. Didn't get enough on it. Was under pressure. Only half headed away by Koundé. England still putting pressure on. Maguire now to the left hand side to Shaw. Goes for the early cross. Too close to Lloris. And he's able to come forward and spectacularly catch it.
Takes a great cross, falls to the ground, gets the applause, gets the congratulations from his teammates, the thanks. That kills some more seconds, and it has been hopeful from England in this injury time.
Almost 5 minutes of added time played, only 3 minutes to go. England have got to just go for it. And actually John Stones has gone to ground, having taken a knock in the challenge with Olivier Giroud. he might have had his left foot stood on, and urgency is important for England, but Stones can't get up. And he's still down receiving treatment.
That's how he's fallen. His foot. It's awkward.
So the medical men have been waved on. By the time John Stones receives his treatment here, and there has to be a question whether he's going to be able to continue in this match, because the way that he's gone down. Let's go down to Juliet Farrington, pitch side.
Jack Grealish is going to come onto the pitch, John. He's ready to, got his shirt on, and he's ready to come on for England. I'm not too sure if that is going to be for John Stones, but another substitution is going to be made by England, and it is Jack Grealish who is going to enter the final few minutes of this match, if that scoreline obviously stays the same.
Over 6 minutes have been played. The stretcher has got halfway onto the field, and actually England are saying, Kyle Walker is saying to the stretcher bearers to turn around and go back off the field. And John Stones is back on his feet now, and there's only seconds to play in the match. And whether he's able to move on it, he's now walking, he's looking down at the ground. The physios are either side of him, he's going to have to leave the field. Grealish still waiting to come on. And from an England point of view, they have to hope that this time is added on. Play will resume with a drop ball in the centre circle, it would seem. Jack Grealish is being waved on. Stones is still off the field on the far side, and it is Stones who is going to be substituted. So central defender off, Jack Grealish on. There are only seconds left for him to influence the game.
Yeah, well, if it does get to extra time, let's worry about the shape and the positions of everybody after, because we need to do something fast.
Yeah, drop ball, and the ball is played back to Hugo Lloris. France lead by 2 goals to 1. There are only seconds left in this quarter-final. The ball finds its way to Mbappe on the left wing. Mbappe is going to take it down towards the corner flag, and then he's fouled by Sterling. Just a trip. No, he's not. He threw himself down, and the referee's not buying it. It's out, and it's a goal kick, and this is probably the last attack. The 8 minutes are almost up. Pickford strikes this long downfield. It had to go long. It was flicked on. Rashford's chasing it, cleared away, comes back to Bellingham. Rabiot with the challenge, middle of the French half, hooked forward by Mount. Sterling, this is the last attack of the match. The French fans are urging the Brazilian referee to blow the whistle. Rice, back to Sterling again. Sterling pulls it onto his left foot. It's got to go into the penalty area. Sterling to the right-hand side though. Bellingham, now back to Rice. Rice goes out towards the right wing. Here's the cross, into the box to Rashford. Headed away by Varane. Comes out to Maguire, who's fouled on the D, on the edge of the box. He was clumsily and awkwardly fouled by Tchouameni. By Coleman, and it's a free kick to England right on the edge of the D, and it's now or never.
This is it, and it's something out of nothing, because the chance had gone. You felt Harry Maguire's created something.
Well, this is very close, Rob. This is very close to where Rashford scored his free kick against Wales. Left of centre, maybe slightly closer.
Yeah, you're looking at it and saying, someone like Rashford, the way he hits the ball, tending to think it doesn't suit him to be that bit closer to the goal. Lloris, a man of his experience, will not be taking a gamble. He'll hold his ground, but been a hero before.
We are beyond added time. We're in the 10th minute of added time. England 1, France 2. This is the drama of the World Cup. These are moments that we will remember for years and years. Matches like this, moments like this, and it all comes down to this. France have put up their wall. Hernandez is lying behind it. The stage is set under the floodlights here at Al Bayt. It's Marcus Rashford with England's last chance to take this quarter-final to extra time. Rashford steps back and he's ready now, and he waits, and Marcus Rashford with his right foot from the free kick. Oh, Oh, just wide of the top corner. Agony. It caught the stanchion at the back of the goal, and it bounced down. Lloris could only watch, and it was France who breathed a sigh of relief. It's a goal kick, and I think this will be it. It is. France are through. The holders are into the semi-finals again, and Gareth Southgate looks to the skies and thinks of what might have been. French celebrations. England go out in the quarter-finals here in Qatar, and England's players look at the ground, and Harry Kane is all on his own. The England captain, the big moment, the huge moment. He took responsibility with that penalty that he sent over the top of the crossbar. He's inconsolable now. His teammates are going to him and are trying to say the right things, are trying to find the right words, but really everyone knows nothing will do here. And there must be tears down there. It's tears again for England. It was at the end of the final last year against Italy. That was a penalty shootout. And again, at a major tournament, this time at a World Cup, it's penalties again. But in this case, one scored by Harry Kane and one missed by Harry Kane. And England are out. And down to pitch side, and Juliet Farrington.
Well, the England players, Harry Kane's teammates, politely asked for the camera operators who are on the pitch trying to obviously grab every picture, every shot that they could to move away from Harry Kane, because he was inconsolable. Jude Bellingham had his shirt over his face. He was lying on his back before he got back up onto his feet. But when Rashford's free kick went over, Harry Kane kind of knew, as you were saying in your commentary, that he looked up into the skies in disbelief and was just trying to take it all in.
I'll just jump in there, because Gareth Southgate has gone around all of the French players, and now he's moving to the England players, and Bukayo Saka out there, and now Gareth Southgate goes across to Harry Kane and he embraces him, and the two speak words together, and now they hug together, and Harry Kane has Gareth Southgate slapping him on the back and talking to him, and it's like history repeating itself. This last year it was Gareth Southgate consoling Bukayo Saka after his missed penalty, and this year it's Gareth Southgate consoling Harry Kane after his missed penalty, and this is Gareth Southgate who famously missed a penalty of his own for England at the end of Euro 96 that put England out of the tournament. Penalties, penalties, penalties. England 1, France 2, and France celebrating as England commiserate. Mark Chapman.